Hey everyone, have you ever picked something up, something small, seemingly insignificant, without giving it a second thought? But what if that one tiny thing could change someone's life forever? This is a story that happened to a friend of me's, whom I'll call A for the sake of privacy. I'll be telling it from my perspective. Before we begin, I want to mention that this story contains themes of psychological disturbance, emotional trauma, and instances of violent behavior. Viewer discretion is advised. This happened when I was about 13 years old, back in grade 7. It all took place at a small school in rural Thailand. My school was located right next to a Buddhist temple, which is pretty common in Thai communities. After school, most of us kids would hang around the campus, playing soccer, catching fish, or just goofing off until it got dark. The soccer field we played on was right next to the crematorium, but we were so used to it, it never really felt scary. It was just part of the scenery. Then October rolled around, the beginning of Thailand's cool season. The sun started setting earlier. One day we finished playing soccer a bit early, around 5 or 6 p.m., and like restless kids, we decided to play hide and seek. To make it fair, we played rock, paper, scissors to pick who would be it. Once that was settled, the rest of us ran off to find hiding spots. As I was running to hide, one of my friends, let's call him A, chased after me. I didn't want to share my hiding spot, so I impulsively jumped over the low cemetery wall and headed straight for the crematorium. All I was thinking about was hiding well and winning the game. I crawled into the crematorium chimney. It was dark and cramped, but honestly, it felt like the perfect hiding place. But then A caught up. "Hey, wait up! Let me hide with you," he shouted. I let him in. He moved to the back, and I stayed by the entrance. It felt a little spooky, sure, but mostly exciting. About 5 minutes passed. Then I felt it, like something, or someone, else was in there with us. My whole body tensed up. A cold shiver ran down my spine. When I looked back at A, I saw him dragging his finger through the ashes on the floor. They probably still had bits of bone in them. Then he picked up something, a small silver object, about the size of a marble. "This looks cool," he said, and dropped it into his pocket. Right at that moment, I felt as though something was sitting beside us. 10 minutes passed. No one had come to look for us. And then, a voice whispered behind us, "Boo." I spun around. A's face had gone pale. That was it. I flung the door open and ran like hell. My clothes were covered in soot and ashes, but I didn't care. I just ran. When I got back to the field, everyone else had already gone home. Later that evening, I asked A where he planned to sleep that night. He often stayed over at my place, which was a small countryside home surrounded by trees and fields. I lived with my grandparents back then, and my grandfather loved kids, so much that he had even built us a tree house to sleep in. That night, A said he'd be staying over at my place again. We got home around 8 p.m., and I went to shower while my grandmother noticed the soot all over my clothes. She asked what I'd been up to, but I didn't say anything about the crematorium. After showering, I climbed up to the treehouse to sleep, but something felt off. A didn't lie down at all. Instead, he just sat there all night, hugging his knees and staring at me. He didn't say a single word. The next morning, A's mom came to pick him up for the weekend. I didn't see him again until Monday. When his mom dropped him off at school, I noticed something strange. Near the school fence, we had a small vegetable garden. Things like cucumbers and chilies grew along the edge. AA walked past, brushing his hands across the plants, and then started picking them. He plucked a cucumber and bit into it. Then he picked some chilies and started chewing those too, like it was nothing. I was really starting to worry. During class, A wasn't acting like himself at all. He didn't talk to anyone, just stared at us like we were strangers. This was the same kid who used to be the funniest, loudest one in the room. But that day, he was completely silent. I figured maybe something was going on at home. His parents used to fight a lot, and he often came to sleep at my house when things got bad. Later that afternoon, after class ended, the guys invited him to play soccer like we always did. But A just shook his head and said, "I'm tired." I told him it was okay. He could head home early if he wanted to. But deep down, I knew something wasn't right. Something had changed. The next morning, something strange happened. There was a small convenience stall in front of our school. The woman who ran it called out to me and asked, "Hey, did A sleep over at your house again last night?" I shook my head. "No, he went back home." She looked puzzled. "That's weird. I saw him walking around the school last night. He was dancing." "Dancing?" I asked. "What time was this?" "Around 10 or 11 p.m., she said. That sent chills down my spine. I knew A's mother didn't always have time to keep a close eye on him, so I decided to talk to our homeroom teacher. I told her something was off. Maybe A needed help. The teacher took it seriously and went to speak with him. But things didn't get better. They got worse. A lashed out at her, screaming and swearing at the teacher. People also started spotting him wandering the school grounds late at night, dancing in the dark. Some said they saw him walking with an elderly figure, holding their hand like a child. 2 or 3 days passed. Then, A stopped coming to school. I started to worry. One evening, after school, I got home to find my grandfather waiting for me. "Hey," he said, "A's mom came by looking for you. She had some questions." "About what?" I asked. "She wanted to know if A had been acting violently. Said he's been missing since yesterday." That hit me like a punch to the chest, my grandfather went on. "She told me all the cats at their house are dead. A hanged them, strung them up by their necks on the clothesline." I didn't know what to say. Something was very, very wrong with A. The next day, I talked to some friends near the soccer field. "Don't you think A's been acting off lately?" I asked. Just as I said that, A appeared from out of nowhere. His clothes were filthy, and he looked like he hadn't bathed in days. I rushed over to him. "A, your mom's looking for you. Where have you been?" He stared at me and said, "That place isn't my home. My home is here, at the temple." We were stunned. My friends and I tried to take him home, but he refused. Instead, he walked straight toward the crematorium and laid down as if to sleep. I felt something was really wrong. I ran to find the temple caretaker and begged him for help. "Uncle, please help my friend. He's not okay." The caretaker came over and tried to take A by the hand to bring him inside the temple compound and check on him. But suddenly, A yanked his hand free and bolted. We chased after him, but he was fast, too fast. We couldn't catch him. I called his mom right away. I found him, but he ran off again. I don't know where he went. That night I went home and tried to sleep. Around 9 p.m. I woke up to the sound of movement. It was AA, climbing up the steps to our treehouse. "You're sleeping here tonight?" I asked. "Yeah," he said. "I'm scared. I want to sleep here." Sometimes he sounded like himself. Other times he didn't. I told him it was fine. "Come on in. Let's just sleep." We both lay down and fell asleep. Or at least I tried to. Around 10:30 p.m. I felt AA get up and move. I was facing the other way so I didn't see him, but I heard footsteps, heavy ones. Then the sound of the door opening. Our treehouse had a vertical ladder. When the door opens, it usually makes a creaking sound, followed by the thump of feet landing on the ground. But this time, nothing. No creak, no thump, just silence. I froze. My heart pounded. Then I slowly turned over, and A was still lying there fast asleep. Was I imagining things? I tried to convince myself it was just my mind playing tricks, but I couldn't fully relax. Then I heard it. Footsteps again, coming back. The door opened, and this time I peeked. An old man stepped into the treehouse. He knelt down beside A, and then, slowly, reached out both hands to hover over A's chest. He let out a sound. Boo. It was the exact same noise we'd heard in the crematorium. I panicked. I jumped to my feet, threw open the door, and leapt out of the treehouse. I hit the ground hard and felt something snap in my elbow. My grandfather rushed over. "What happened?" "Ghost," was all I could say. He followed me back up, and we woke A, who groggily sat up. My grandfather looked at him gently and said, "A, go home. Your family is worried about you. This place, it's not yours." A stood up slowly, said nothing, and walked away into the night. The next morning, A's mom came to see me. She looked worried and said, "Please don't take this the wrong way, but can I ask you something? What exactly were you two playing?" I hesitated for a second, then told her the truth. "We were playing hide and seek, and I hid inside the crematorium chimney. My grandmother, my grandfather, and A's mom all scolded me. A's mom then asked me to come with her to check on him. So my grandfather and I went to A's house. When we arrived, we found AA lying in his room, clutching something tightly in his hands, shaken violently. And that's when it hit me. AA had picked something up from the crematorium. Something small, round, silver. Everyone rushed over and helped pry his fingers open. And inside was a set of false teeth, silver-plated, made from lead, something that didn't fully burn. Everyone recoiled in shock. One of the elders said, "We need to call the abbot. Maybe he can help." But before anyone could move, AA suddenly muttered in a raspy voice, "No need to call him. I'll eat him too." My grandfather grabbed my hand and pulled me out of the room. Others rushed to close the door. But just before the door slammed shut, I turned to look. A was curled up in the corner, staring straight at me. His tongue slowly slid out of his mouth. Longer, longer, until it reached his navel. I screamed. Someone ran to call the abbot. He arrived quickly and knocked 3 times. "Whoever's in there, please open the door." There was no response. We tried to open the door, but it was locked from the inside. A's mom fetched the spare key, but just before unlocking it, the abbot said softly, "He's already gone." And when the door opened, A was dead. He lay there, mouth wide open, jaw unnaturally stretched as if torn, his eyes frozen in terror. At his funeral, I decided to become a monk for 7 days, along with 3 other friends, to make merit for him. On my first night as a monk, I found myself walking outside without realizing it, heading toward the crematorium. Before I got close, maybe just 100 meters away, I saw something. The same old man from the treehouse, holding A's hand, leading him back into the crematorium. And in that moment, I didn't feel fear. I just felt sadness. After the 7 days of ordination ended, I asked my grandfather, "Was that a ghost?" He shook his head slowly. "Number worse. That was an asurakaya." In Thai belief, an asurakaya is a kind of malevolent spirit, born from those who practice dark magic or black rituals in life. After death, they become cursed entities, feeding on the spirits of the living. 2 days before we played hide and seek, someone in the village, rumored to have practiced dark magic, had died. His body had been cremated, but it hadn't burned completely. That silver tooth was all that remained. Grandpa told me, "Those who die with that kind of dark power don't really die. They become something else, and they need to keep feeding." That man had hated cats, loved cucumbers, and ate chilies raw, and through he did all of it again. That's the story. What do you think really happened to Was it a haunting, possession, or something far older and darker than we can comprehend? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoy ghost stories rooted in Thai folklore and true urban legends, don't forget to like this video, share it, and subscribe for more chilling tales from Thailand. See you next video.